Hey guys, this is Blade Check. I got a video request from gearoption to do a video on the Meyerco Dirk Pinkerton FOCUS on its own video. I have one out there where I mention it and it has its own little cameo, but I haven't done a video just on it, and he was asking for it, so here we go. The Dirk Pinkerton / Meyerco, it's a Dirk Pinkerton design. He collaborated with Meyerco to produce this knife. It's called the FOCUS. It's in a line of knives that he has out with pretty much, they're all kind of like hideout size knives, except for one of them with a 4-inch blade, 3 3/4, 4-inch blade. They're all really, good knives for the price. Most of them have the same blade steels depending on what size you're getting into. The medium to large size have 8CR13 MOV steel, and the smaller ones all have AUS 6, which is not a great blade steel at all, but for what they're going to be used for, which is primarily self-defense and a hideout blade, so a blade that's going to be carried always, used almost never, unless you get into a pretty bad situation or there's an emergency of some kind. It's satisfactory for something like that. But so here's the knife itself. Sorry about that lighting. Let's see if I can. There we go. The knife itself is all stainless steel. It's all that 8CR13 MOV. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. The handle is skeletonized. As you can see, it's got 3 radius holes in it. The radiusing in them is very, very nice. It's nice and smooth, shiny, all that good stuff. The handle itself is not 100% radiused. It's just it's left a little bit square, and it looks okay and everything, but it's still very comfortable in the hand. But the specs on this, we have a 2-inch blade. So that makes it legal to carry most places, not everywhere, but most places. The weight on it, the overall length rather, I should say, is 6 inches, and so it's nice and easy to conceal. And the weight on it is 2.2 ounces. I think that's just the knife itself. With the sheath, it may be a little bit more, but the sheath itself is very, very light too. The sheath is a simple plastic Kydex type thing, ABS or Kydex, with not very many options. It comes with a steel bead chain that is, it's okay. I use paracord just because I like it to be a little bit quieter. The primary way to carry this is actually on your belt. We have a 1-position belt carry that is very tight. It's something that you can't even really pry back at all, but your belt can slip in there, and that's great. You don't have to wear a belt to have this on, so if you're wearing workout pants or whatever, the knife is light enough, and the clip allows you to be able to put that on workout pants, whatever you happen to be using. And yeah, it's also very, very thin, so it, the profile is nice and tight against you. It doesn't pop out. It's a little bit big, but I think that's for the neck knife option with these 2 lanyard holes here. But like I said, I go with paracord on that just because it's quieter. And if people I know say, like, if someone pulls on it from behind, then it breaks and you're safe. But if it breaks, then where's the knife? I'd rather have it up here where I can pull that off and actually have it still on me. So onto the knife itself. The price on this that I have found is anywhere between like $20 to $25, $26. Blade HQ has some in stock right now for $25.50, so that's a good deal. Like I said, for what it is, it's it's a good knife. The handle is really nice. It sits right in your hand, and it just just a little bit of blade sticks out. There's very little room for disarming with this knife at all. And you know, it's got a good, nice thick profile. I think it's 3/16 maybe of an inch, probably somewhere around there. The tip is really strong. I don't know if you can see that terribly well, but the tip is nice and strong. The jimping runs, they call it 75%. It starts here on the back and runs all the way to here, and it's good jimping. I mean, it keeps your finger nice and locked in, keeps your thumb locked in. The downside that I've found with this knife is I've tried EDCing this just like as a utility knife, and you certainly could, but there's some things that you have to do to it in order to make that functional. One of the things that you definitely have to do with it is when it comes out of the box, it's not terribly sharp, and the reason is that they put a good factory edge on it, but the grind itself, the edge grind itself, is too steep. Basically, if you have your primary grind, which is this bit here, okay, and then you have your edge grind. The edge is more like this when it really should be more like this. It has to be brought back a little bit, in other words. So if you're going to sharpen this thing up, I would get a really good stone to do it on. Of course, not a grinder, that we never do that to our knives, but a really good stone just to back that relief edge up a little bit, that relief grind up a little bit, and that'll give you a really good kind of EDC knife, easier to sharpen up. Being 8CR13 MOV, the knife will sharpen up pretty easily. Easy for field sharpening, all that kind of good stuff. Under the name, the name Focus, it really does kind of feel like that in your hand. The tip is really the primary point, if you will, pardon the pun, but it's more of a thrusting weapon than anything else. Yes, you can cut with it, but as I said, it's kind of a good hideout knife, meaning you have it on you and it's very concealed, and then basically it's there to turn the tides in a fight or in a defensive situation, so that you can't really rely on the knife itself, but you can use it basically if you're having a really hard time and that guy has a weapon. It's a backup. So if you carry a gun or anything like that, this would be a great backup. How I typically carry it, I do every so often carry it as a neck knife. I keep the clip on because that also helps retain the knife in the sheath. There's a couple screws in here that you can take out. I found taking them out makes the knife really loose in the sheath, so not a good idea. But when I carry it on my belt, what I actually do is, because the retention on the clip is so tough and I have it on my belt, I actually put it inverted, so it's like this. So all I have to do is pull down and now I have it ready. You can keep it obviously up like this. This point here, excuse me, is it's a little bit pointy to have, jabbing into you. If you're a bigger guy, you got an extra tire on you or whatever, that I can see how that would definitely jab into you a little bit. So maybe carrying it inverted is a good option. The only other way to carry it obviously is on your weak side, and you can draw it like this. It's not terribly comfortable for that because now your thumb is sitting on this point. So I mean, it'd be a good knife if you want to change a couple things about it. It's cheap, you can definitely do that. The other question that I've gotten from people when I show them this is wrapping it in paracord, like the handle, and I gotta say, probably not. We don't have very much of this hole showing. I've tried it before, and to be honest, the little tiny bit of the hole that's actually showing isn't really enough, even with gutted paracord, to actually facilitate and keep the retention of the sheath. You could pull on it a little bit and maybe make it work, but I mean, from what I've felt on this knife, you really don't need it. And if anything else, it makes it a little bit bulkier. But if you want to do it, great. Just not something I was ever interested in doing. But yeah, so I hope that this helps. gear option. If not, you know, I'd be happy to either make another video or answer any questions you do have on the knife. But yeah, I mean, everything about this knife is really good other than that grind. And I've touched this up a little bit myself. Let me see if I can... This is really, really flimsy paper, but I don't know if I can, you know... Yeah, this paper is way too flimsy to try this. Nah, not really. I mean, you can see though, once you get in there, it is sharp. So it's just that that paper really sucks for that. And I could probably touch that up a little bit myself anyway. But yeah, so there we are. It's a good knife. If you guys have any questions, just leave me a message on the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day.